Welcome along to the Record Club, brought to you by Record Store Day, the official charts and National Album Day, and proudly in association with Bowers and Wilkins. My name is Jess Iszatt, and thank you so much for joining us. We are super excited to say that our guest this evening is Wolf Alice to talk all about their brand new album, Blue Weekend. If you're new to the Record Club, we're going to be spending the next half an hour talking to Theo and Joel from Wolf Alice all about the brilliant new record, and then we'll be putting your questions about the album forward for them to answer. So if there is anything you'd like to know about the new record, whether it be about a certain song, maybe the artwork or a particular lyric that you've enjoyed, drop us a question in the comments section below and I'll be asking a selection of them in the second half of our chat. On top of that, one lucky person who sends in a question today will be randomly selected to win a pair of Bowers and Wilkins PX7 over-ear noise cancelling headphones. Honestly, wicked prize. Definitely do not miss out on that. So ask your questions. If you haven't already picked up a copy of the album as well from your local record store, we obviously thoroughly recommend you do that once our chat with Wolf Alice is over. So let's get straight into this week's Record Club and say a huge hello to Theo and Joel from Wolf Alice. How are we doing?
Hello.
Hey guys. How's it going?
Intro. Well done. That was long.
I know. It's all in my brain, ingrained. Yeah. I'm really pleased that you have managed to put a shirt on today for this interview, and also I know that you also got changed especially for this interview as well, Theo and Joel.
Yeah, I've got trackies on from the waist down, I won't lie. I panicked. I mainly wanted to wash my face and ended up changing my outfit 3 times instead. So.
Oh, did the face wash not happen?
Yeah, I don't think I think I've played football for about 2 hours and now I'm just sitting here dirty, covered in sweat, but enjoying myself already.
This is the beauty of doing an interview online, so that I wouldn't have noticed that at all.
Yeah,
so
people would smell me if I was in person, so that would be different.
Okay, so we obviously are the Record Club, and it's all about albums as an art form, and obviously the physical copy as well. Do you have any album recommendations? I know it's been a long year of hiding out in our own homes. Don't want to say the C word too early on in the interview, but the coronavirus world. But do you have any albums that you'd like to recommend for us?
Could it be from the past?
It can be from any time.
Excellent stuff. Right, I'm going to get on Google to figure out the name of some of these records. I discovered through Amyl and the Sniffers and the Viagra Boys, actually. Amy Taylor, the singer from Amyl and the Sniffers, featured on a song by Viagra Boys called In Spite of Ourselves. Let me turn my WhatsApp off so it doesn't do that anymore. And it was Kynes Joel here in his lovely white shirt pointed out it's a cover by an amazing American folk singer called John Prine. And I love him loads. And oh wait, here we go. The album is actually called In Spite of Ourselves. And yeah, it's great. And I've been listening to it loads.
Is that the cover that the Viagra Boys did on their album? What was it?
Yeah, it's on the new record, right?
Yeah.
Amy Taylor singing it. I love the cover loads, but it was one of the best like classic musical things of a cover led me to discover someone I now absolutely love. So yeah, thank you to everyone involved.
Great pick.
It was actually Joff, by the way, Theo, that pointed out the cover. I can't live with myself if I don't admit the truth that it wasn't me.
Hey.
And yeah, Joff was like, that's a cover. And we were so gassed because we were listening to it on the tube. We're like, oh, okay. I picked up from my local record shop the other day, the new Ice Age record, Seek Shelter. Danish band that have kind of like started off ages ago as like a real brashy kind of punk band, and they've just grown into these amazing songwriters and amazing lyricists, and there's all sorts of orchestration and stuff on their records now, and like it's not out of place, like have really jarring guitars and amazing piano and stuff like that. And I've definitely returned to that record quite a bit since it came out, and that was this year. I think it's only just come out a couple of weeks ago actually, so I fully recommend that.
Which record shop did you go to?
Where did I get that from the other day? Where was I? I went into one in Bexhill called Music's Not Dead. and I don't know if they had it in, but I came home with it. I live where I live. There's loads of random just like dudes that sell vinyl in like weird places, and they don't have names on any of their shops. So I just tend to come home with like, well, anything that's by the Replacements. And I also picked up a first edition of Joni Mitchell Blue as well. And I got Ice Age that day as well. But for the life of me, I can't. I'm going to say music's not dead in Bexhill. There we go.
That's what you went for it in the first place anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
For a split second when you said Ice Age, I was thinking of like the movie, and I was like, not the soundtrack to that. That would.
What's that tune? Rusted Root. That's a banger.
So actually that brings us on quite nicely, because we each week have a question from one of the many amazing independent record stores in the UK, and this week we have a question for you from Pie and Vinyl in Southsea. They say, yeah. Do you know them? Do you know them personally?
Yeah. Our sound engineer Johnny is a local. I think he maybe goes in there for the pies more than the vinyl. I can't comment any further on that. Yeah, they're really good to us. We went down there last time the album was out. I don't know whether we went down there when My Love Is Cool came out, but yeah, they're really super nice people, and it's a really good shop. Great merch, great pies, good records, lovely stuff.
I was going to say, what's the choice of pie, but maybe.
Many moons since I've had a pie, but what is my favourite? Steak and ale, maybe? Is that normal?
That's a classic, isn't it?
I like. Do you have mint in pies with lamb? Is that a thing?
You can put whatever you want in a pie, mate.
Right, yeah.
You could have like a fish pie or a chicken pie.
They have good special pies on there. I feel like chorizo was involved, or some sort of blue cheese last time we were there.
That sounds fancy.
Mm.
So they have a question for you. They have asked, are your tastes changing the more experienced you become? And I'm thinking tastes because of the pies, but obviously music tastes. From Pie and Vinyl and Southsea, they have asked, are your tastes changing the more experienced you become? And do you see yourself becoming more experimental, even though you've already gained an audience who are engaged with your work?
I mean, yeah, like, funnily enough, I was probably listening to weirder music when I was younger, and in my slightly older age, I've become quite sympathetic to a lot of mainstream and pop kind of sounds that I probably was like, I'm not listening to that when I was like 16, walking around thinking I was the coolest dude just because I had a Refused record. So in a weird way, I'm actually becoming more mainstream in my tastes as I get older. But I think, if maybe that is experimental if you spend, if you're not into that before. And I think we've got great appreciation for the album I got a great romance for what it is as a piece of work. And there's so many great ones out there. It's like, I don't know, it's all about mixing dynamic and stuff. So we'll see. I think we're just going to grow as we have done, quite organically, and don't try and force things with Wolf Alice. So, yeah.
That's true. Anything to add?
No, yeah, I agree. My tastes I've got an appreciation for pop music. The older I've got, my tastes kind of haven't changed. I've been listening to, like, if I'm going to listen to stuff just on my own, I've been listening to punk and rap for a long time, and that doesn't seem to change in terms of the specific genres. But I have an appreciation for things more. I can listen to records more as someone who's been a part of making them, and that's a really interesting perspective to have as a listener, rather than just consuming stuff in my daily life. It's changed a little bit with the way I can go into any room in my house and kind of force a device to play me something. So that's kind of given me a weird way of listening as well, and probably has informed things in a worse way, I imagine, as all technology probably does. But yeah, I think what Joel said was really interesting.
I do think perhaps saying you don't like a particular genre anymore is a little bit old-fashioned, because things have kind of melded together a little bit more these days.
Yeah, I think 100% it has, and I think that's a great thing, because you go on Instagram and you just see that kind of magpie culture that Generation probably the generation below me definitely has, and probably below them even more so. And it feels like that tribal thing that I think I felt aspects of when I was at school, which, to be honest, were just reductive because it was just predetermined that you do that. Do you know what I mean? There was a stage where it was like, oh, I can't listen to that because I like indie or I like rock or something like that. Now, ultimately, all you're doing is narrowing your whatever creative field. And it's really cool to see kids, even in the way they dress and the way that they kind of, just everything, just, taking the best bits from different things and mashing them together. That's like recycling and cool and fun and inspiring. And yeah, you don't just want to be like, oh, I only listen to X. Or, And if you want, though, to be fair, do whatever you want, don't listen to me.
All right, big ups to Pine Vinyl and South Sea for your question. Guys, I have to say huge congratulations. The third album has had absolutely glowing reviews. I mean, Blue Weekend been on repeat in my headphones. When you had the final version ready to go, did you know it was going to be like a banger as a record, or how did it feel to you when you had it ready to go?
I mean, our heads have been in like Blue Weekend world for a couple of years now, and it was obviously quite an interesting process doing it. We were locked down in ICP, the studios in Brussels, for a couple of months, and I remember the moment I kind of maybe just breathed a sigh. The moment I was quite chill about everything was when we got the masters back, and you've been listening to it for so long. It's like hard to have any it's hard to step back and actually hear what you've done, because I'm too busy worrying about this reverb sound on the snare drum that happens for 2 seconds or something, and I remember we got the masters back, and I sat in my house and I just sort of listened to it just like for the first time and was like, oh, okay, I like this. And then it's just been, to be fair, it's been, yeah, I mean, you never really I don't think we ever sit there and go like, we got a huge record on our hands, but we're immensely proud of what we've done with this record, and it's incredible to see the way people are speaking about it.
It is interesting because my example is like, say if you've just done an exam and everyone comes out and they all talk about it and they're all like, oh yeah, I don't know, this was hard, I don't really know how this is gonna come out, whatever. But it really does feel like you guys have just nailed it, especially, what is it, like 5-star reviews across the board or something ridiculous?
Yeah, it is amazing. I personally struggle to get too enveloped in it, especially right now while it's just come out, because I find it will maybe affect me a little bit too much. But it is obviously, I feel like it's actually quite arrogant to be like, oh, I don't read the reviews, whatever. You can't deny it. You carry an iPhone in your pocket. The world is in your hand constantly. You're going to notice it. And it does feel really nice, I can't, it's not definitely better than having loads of 1-star reviews, that's for sure.
Were there many tunes, because like you mentioned, you've been in Blue Weekend world for a really long time, and you had a long time together as a band, locked up essentially to make a record. Were there loads of songs that have kind of been left off it? Not
loads. I mean, we took more than is on the album to Brussels, where we recorded it. But I think we always say that we want to record these songs that haven't made it in each time round, because I think they're all, some of them, I mean, I like all of them, but it would make for a really great EP if we got the best of each time. The best of each that didn't make it onto each record. And yeah, it was, but more interestingly, some of the songs, I think The Beach 2 was being wrestled with quite a lot and was potentially not going to be something, I don't know, I might be wrong, I can't remember it right now, but some of the songs that we were a bit I don't know whether this is going to do anything, took a different form in the studio, and that was really cool. I remember Ellie came in with a completely new set of lyrics for The Beach 2, and we were all just like, wow. And then many more things happened in that. He came up with that incredible synth part, played that guitar part on the synth. That happened a bit more on this time round. But yeah, there's B-sides. That's the actual term for it. I don't know why I've not found that. They're just not out. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, the first Record Store Day drop is taking place this Saturday, June the 12th. It's an incredibly important day for UK indie record stores, and you guys are going to be a huge part of the drop. The Record Store Day edition of your album, Blue Weekend, is pressed on coloured vinyl, which I don't have, but it just looks amazing, and comes with a 7-inch featuring an unheard song called Time Is Not a Straight Line. Is that like...
Oh.
There you go. You're just talking about this, weren't you?
Yeah. So can you tell us anything about the track if people are going to get that this Saturday?
Well, I don't want to spoil what it sounds like or anything, but it's a perfect example of like a song that even if we love it, it's like, does it make sense in this collection of other things? And does it make sense on this record? And it's no detriment to the track if it doesn't make it, you know, just we think a lot about track listing and dynamics and what complements other tracks, and a bit like what I said earlier, think about the album as it's a whole thing, isn't it? You know, from start to finish, it's important. It's a song we're really proud of. It's a beautiful song, and it's one of Ellie's. I think maybe Geoff plays some guitar on this version, but it's mainly an Ellie one. It's great that it's coming out and seeing the light of day.
Is it like a fast pace? Are we talking fast, or are you talking more mellow? Like, what else can you tell us?
Have to find out on Record Store Day.
Oh, there we go.
I don't get in trouble if I'm like, it sounds like this, and somebody else. Exciting to know that there's some more Wolf Alice music coming out very soon.
Too much, I'd say.
Yeah, pack it in, guys. It's too much already. Ellie actually once, I read this somewhere, she used the analogy of hummus to describe Visions of Life previously. And I'm just kind of wondering what analogy or what kind of dip you would say that Blue Weekend was.
That
Don't do it, man.
That hummus quote, we were like, I think it was like a Guardian article, and I saw the headline and I was like, oh my God.
That is going to haunt you for the rest of your life.
It doesn't matter what you say, as serious, you know, for like an hour and a half can be very on form, and there'll be just one of us will just say some self-deprecating nonsense just to like, for whatever reason, and that will be the headline. So for Visions of a Life, it was the hummus thing.
This time round is some original blow your fucking eyes out of your ears into your throat hot sauce. It's like the most powerful hot sauce in the world. I'm saying this on like the basis of me thinking people find that appealing and now need to listen to the album.
Yeah, it sounds horrendous, to be quite honest with you, but
I don't know. It sounds exciting, at least.
I guess it could be all sorts of different type of hot sauce. Yeah, the album is like hot sauce, and then you have like hot sauce when you go to a non.
Okay, so maybe like a really nice. I just basically want something that's as far away from hummus as I can get. I'm so tempted to get some hot sauce out my fridge to show you it, to try and be like, that's the hot sauce. But that's equally as boring as saying that we sound like hummus, to show you hot sauces.
I don't think we should keep using condiments every album campaign to describe our music.
I can't do anything about it. I'm backed into a corner here with a bottle of hot sauce. Send my way out.
To be fair, it sounds spicy. The album's spicy, so there we go. That's the next headline for everyone watching. Comment your favourite hot sauce. Is there a surprising fan favourite on the album?
We haven't seen any fans for about 30,000 years, so I don't know at the moment.
Why, do they normally like scream it out at you at gigs?
No, it's just like, you know, at least you can meet someone after a gig or something. They'll be like, oh, this was actually, I really like the song. I think people, do you know what? I know what like my friends and family pick out Lipstick on the Glass quite a lot as a song that maybe has gone under the radar so far a little bit, or I haven't seen people talk about too much. And I find that interesting. So yeah, I think Lipstick on the Glass maybe, but not 100%.
Lipstick on the Glass is one of my faves, and but I don't fully know what it's about. I'd probably be able to ask Ellie, but I'm going to ask you guys instead.
No, we can't reveal it, man. We keep giving the mystery away of all these songs, and I remember sitting on the bus or something and listening to my favourite songs and always loving that mysticism. So for once, we're not going to give away the. No, I'm in a roundabout way. I'm saying I don't know.
Sounds mysterious, so I like it.
Yeah.
Do you guys have personal favourites then?
Yeah, I mean, obviously proud of the whole thing, but how can I make it okay? Has moved me since the day Ellie first sent over a demo, and super happy with Fear myself, sonically, like from a production sense and everything, and really proud of that. I love the fact, that the story Theo was saying about the beach too, how that was almost like will it, won't it, and now that guitar part's one of my favourite moments on the record that Joff and Eddie came up with. There's loads of moments that I get to and I'm just like, oh.
You got to pick one, man. What's your favourite song?
Oh, right.
So it's like the other
I can't, just don't make me up to do anything definitive.
It's okay. I like it. I think that's a sign of a good album though, if you can't pick just one, because otherwise if you have like a lead favourite all the time.
Yeah, it's it's still evolving for us as well. We've been close to this thing for a long time, so yeah.
I do really like how you've kind of, I don't want to say like bookended it, but like you mentioned, you've got this beginning, you've got the beach, and then you kind of think, oh, that's, I don't know, that's like it done and dusted, and then at the end the beach 2 comes in, and it leaves me wanting more, but at the same time it does signify the end of the album. And I do think that in terms of the album as an art form, I do think you do need that really important kind of arc, almost like it's a book in itself, a story in itself. Not getting too artsy, record club.
No, that's the kind of chat I like. I think I completely agree with you. And we had this sort of like secular. I can't get my words out today. Like things happen in cycles. Almost in reference to the title as well. Your weekend's always going to come back round again. And it was nice to the new lyrics that Elliot came up with for the beach too. We could end on like more of a hopeful, light kind of tone, and there's a lot of atmosphere and like tension in the first beach, so it's quite nice to have those kind of that duality kind of thing. And then it had all that noise tailing off from Joss pedals and other bits and bobs, and it almost sounded like thunder to us, and which references back to the lyrics in the first track, and sort of had this thing of like, well, it's going to come back round again, which was nice. And yeah, it is artsy to think about that, but it's fun.
I actually was listening to it on the beach as well, so I was like, this is so perfect. And then when I was leaving, like, thinking back, Blue Weekend, kind of sad I'm leaving, but no, it's good, it's great. And kind of, is it snares or something that makes that kind of, I don't want to say like beachy sound, or like you said, thunder, or...
Oh, we got a virtuoso named Joff who can make any sound you want out of like a baked bean can distortion pedal. So there's definitely some Joffs in there. We did do this thing, the engineer, Ian Berryman, who's amazing. There's like a plugin called Valhalla Shimmer, and that's kind of bouncing off the snare drums. That's like automated, and got some Juno high pass filters going on in the first one for that swoosh sound. And so it's Joff's magic and some nerdy plugins.
Before we dive into the questions, I have to ask as well, how will you celebrate when it goes to number 1 in the charts on Friday?
Let's not do this. But we've been here before. I know.
This is true. So everyone watching,
you
know what to do. Go get the album, stream the album.
You know what? Whatever happens, there'll be hugs.
Whatever happens, we'll celebrate. We'll celebrate someone we don't know's birthday if we're in the same pub. So
innit?
We know aliens celebration.
It involves Jaeger bombs.
Any excuse for an occasion, and we're there. And it's been a wicked week. So we'll be drunk.
Will you be together? Is it London your base, or? Yeah,
we're going for dinner. We're going for dinner with everyone who works super hard on this record. The guys at Dirty Hit and our management, East City management. And we haven't had a moment where it's been like all of us just together to kind of hang out for obvious reasons. So we're going to have a nice dinner. and then I'm going to cause it to descend into something I don't want to remember.
Amazing. Well, if it's anybody's birthday on Friday, then I'm sure they'll like to jump in on the occasion.
Yeah.
Gemma Bunkle on the Record Club's page says, is the beach based on a particular beach or take you to a particular beach in your minds?
I don't know if you'd have to ask Ellie if it's based on a particular beach. We did shoot a bit of a video at a particular beach, which name is, Joel?
Pet Level in East Sussex.
So Pet Level, for the sake of this question, can be the one of significance right now. I think that video came out 2 days ago as well. So.
Andrew Pike on Wolf Alice's page says, love the album artwork, but I'm curious, did the bus turn up?
The 43, does the 43's clockwork, mate, if you live in Holloway. Ellie's getting on that. Ellie's on it now, probably.
Yeah.
Laura Marl on Wolf Alice's page as well says, question for the band, do you still get nervous before a live show? And if so, what's your coping mechanism?
Yes, and alcohol. No, I don't know. It's different things, isn't it? I get quite nervous. There's like very specific things that now bring out like a teenage nervousness in me, which is always like Radio 1 things when they blast those like montages of like
it's the countdown, isn't it?
I wasn't nervous until that bit happened.
And then Lewis Capaldi speaking, and then like 2, 1.
Yeah, but I know how you feel.
Definitely adrenaline is still there. I think we'll see about nerves when we get to the Barrowlands in January. That'll be a strange sensation to be back at it.
What's on your guys' rider? What's the drink of choice?
What is on our rider? Vodka, 4 Holston pills, some beers, some snacks. So boring. It's like me saying that hummus comparison again. But
you're going to get hot sauce now.
Yeah. Maybe from today we'll start getting hot. I want to go on hot. We need to get on hot, whatever that thing is that only famous people get on. That where they eat chicken and cry and whatever.
Well, if that's the way to get on it, we're not going to get on it then, are we? That's the only qualification you need.
You got to be like really famous.
Yeah, no, it's not happening then.
Guys, well, just speak it into existence. I'm sure it'll happen. Sean Chan on Wolf Alice's page says, this album has great lyrics and it's getting to be a great visual story too. Which music video was your favourite to film? Which is your favourite song on the album? Which I think sort of semi-done.
We just put a video out this evening on our YouTube channel for Delicious Things. And I'm not in like loads and loads of things, but I had to do some acting with a friend of ours called Maddie, who's actually is an amazing actor, and in the back of a cab, and that was quite a funny moment because it's really not my forte. I just watched it back a minute ago with my mum and was just laughing at it because go watch the Delicious Things video. Basically, it was just kind of a plug to do that.
And we have got Mally Anthony on Wolf Alice's page saying, what inspired you to start creating music? You guys have inspired me hugely.
Oh, that's a lovely thing to say. I grew up in a really musical household. I can't kick a football, couldn't skateboard, nothing else, but I was quite good at the guitar. So I've run with that, and now I play the drums. So, just really musical, like house, and I love doing it. Me and Theo actually, we met when we were 15, and we were both playing in different bands and stuff, and we've had a quite a little musical journey together through our different phases.
Yeah.
So it's like since way back when. Was there a particular artist or something that you think, I want to be like them?
We kind of like the Horror's first album was a real sort of era for both my hair and for our friendship because I looked bad. But I felt like there was quite a few of us that kind of bonded through that album and what that band, like, I remember watching interviews with them and them talking about their influences, and I'm not embarrassed to say that's how I discovered Nick Cave, and I think maybe the Velvet Underground, they were my gateway into loads of things that I now hold really dear, and like on top of that, friendships and stuff like that. So yeah, I think me and Joel specifically really owe that record quite a lot.
Yeah, Strange House by the Horrors, definitely.
Amazing. So when it comes to live again, what do you know what your first like live thing with an audience is?
We're headlining Latitude, supposedly, fingers crossed, which is, I don't know when, the weekend of the 23rd of July. We're headlining the Friday night, which is a bit of a baptism of fire if you haven't done it for a while.
Oh my God, that is going to be so amazing.
It's the quick one. But I think that will be. So, I think if those things happen, you like that party feeling that everyone's going to have of being able to be in that environment. Hopefully, we'll be able to do our job. I don't know what I'm saying. Carry it. Like we're gonna absolutely bomb when we play it. But I think that would just be so special. So it really, that's our first thing, and we can't really ask for much better than headlining the festival. So
I actually read a couple of comments. Theo, I know that people are loving the bass solo on Smile. Are you looking forward to playing that?
I was like, oh God, solo.
Oh yeah, no, I've just read some people on YouTube being like, yes, I just love this, like all of the band being involved in that and singing and stuff, and the solo. I was like, wow, people are getting really excited about the live stuff.
Oh, great! Yeah, that's going to be a really fun moment in the live set for sure. I think.
Well, that's all we have time for today. Guys, thank you so much, Joel and Theo from Wolf Alice, for joining us. And if you haven't already got yourself a copy of Blue Weekend, then obviously you need to go order one now, especially before Friday. I'm also excited to announce that the winner of this week's Bowers and Wilkins Wireless Headphones Prize is we've got Laura Marl on Wolf Alice's page. Please slide into the Record Club's DMs and we'll get these headphones to you. And everyone, thank you so much for joining us and sending in your questions. Our next guest is going to be announced on the Record Club social media, and make sure that you're following us to catch up on that. And of course, all episodes are available to watch back on our YouTube channel. Thank you guys, Joel and Theo from Wolf Alice, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thank you to everyone for supporting us as well. Bye bye.